Okay then, hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So, you joined me back in the garage. It's been a bit of a weird time lately, haven't had a great deal of updates with what's been going on in the car. We've been pretty busy racing, had some really good results lately which we're extremely happy about. But today is quite exciting. I need to prop my glasses up. But today is quite exciting. So, today I'm going to be sharing with you something extremely cool made for me by Alan, the legend at Parts Garage. We are going to be fitting tubular wishbones to the A3. Yeah, that's right. So, Alan, the legend of Parts Garage, our main sponsor for this year. Incredible bunch of guys. You really should check them out. Probably the nicest, easiest to deal with motor factors I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Anything you want, any car, genuine, great quality bits, pretty much next day delivery on a lot of it. Awesome, really. Check them out. Alan is also a bit of a genius, as I've said before, as you can see here. So, we were looking at options. We think there's a bit of play in the poly bushes on the front of the car. 265 slick, 500 plus horsepower. It's just a bit too much for a poly bush. We're racing now. You don't get race cars on poly bushes. So yeah, Alan, with his rally background, stepped up to the plate and did a bit of design work. I'm going to chuck a couple of pictures up now of the design. And then over a couple of, quite a few evenings work, I think, for him, mocking up a few bits 3D printed, a couple of bits turned in the lathe, good amount of welding, a bit of fabrication, and this is what we've ended up with. Right, everybody, it is 2 days later. You've seen the arms. I have prepped them for paint. I've dropped them off with my wonderful powder coaters down at Industrial Profiles in Southampton. I can hardly wait to show you these. They look so good. So yeah, here we go. Check that out. It's awesome. Let me pop this on the floor, spin the camera around and show you exactly what we've got. So, here we go. Just look at them in all their orange glory. So, what we have here is the very first ever set of Parts Garage tubular two-piece front wishbones. So, there are so many arms on the market that just don't do this justice. There are so many where this section is fixed. They have an adjustable thread here and an adjustable thread here, but this distance, pivot to pivot, is fixed on the subframe on the car. So if you adjust this, you make this distance longer, so it won't work, it'll bind up. So they're not adjustable. Even though they've got threads here and here on a rose joint, they're not actually adjustable. A lot of people fall for that. To make it adjustable, you need a linkage here. You need to be able to rotate. So what we've got, camber is set by adjusting this arm as static camber, and then by the slots in the ball joint plate. These are longer slots. These have been made to replicate the geometry of a standard arm with additional camber in the slots. That allows me to run this on a standard ball joint again, which means I'm going to have more disc clearance. We've then got, I believe this is actually from an Escort compression linkage. So we've got an adjustable joint there, and the beauty here, this is left-hand threaded. So I can't do it one-handed, but when you turn this arm without taking this end off the car, the whole lot is on-car adjustable. So you set your camber static here to here, and once it's on the car, you can just turn this arm without undoing any of these bolts, just crack off the lock nuts, and you can change the caster on the car, pushing the wheel forward and back. So there were loads of different designs we looked at, and we decided, Alan decided, Alan is the absolute brains behind this and the fab. Alan decided the strongest method was going to be to have this coming in, triangulating off here. So this joint, the force comes through here, spread out evenly across this tube. This has got a 6mm plate, and then I believe it's a 4mm lip around here. And what Alan's done here with the misalignment spacers, he's tweaked them right in to allow absolute maximum articulation. Not that that joint needs it, but you never know on the back here. But then he's also flared them out here to achieve maximum clamping area on the subframe, When you see these as just a straight washer, you don't get much clamping area here, and they can break down. These obviously are stainless steel. Other people have used aluminium ones. Major issues. So yeah, Alan has taken on board everything I've really told him when we were kind of chatting about the initial design phase, and these are unbelievably cool. Right, time to get them on there. Right, I haven't shown you all the boring stuff, but one wishbone out, and I've already found something really interesting. So, something a couple of people have picked up on in a couple of the videos. Sometimes the car has a weird tendency when you dive on the brakes to kind of slew one way or another. It always seems to vary. I don't think it's brake bias because it happens well in advance of anything locking up. We've bled the brakes, we've checked the function on the rear calipers, we've checked the function on the front calipers, everything's even. It's as if something's shuffling. So let me spin the camera around. Check this out. So this is your rear bush. Now I've often thought this isn't the best idea in the world. Because this bush articulates this way, what you've actually got, if I push that back, you've got like a conical bush. So there's always room. So the actual area of poly in the middle that's loaded is really small. That has too much play for my liking. However, where I think the culprit is potentially more so, this is incredibly, focus, this is incredibly loose in here. If I pop a bolt in the end for you to see there, look at that play. Now when the subframe crushes up onto that point there, and that crushes solid against this tube, top and bottom. So any play you can see there now is going to be play that is in the system, in the setup, when it's all bolted up. I'll be glad to be rid of these. Now, Alan, being the legend that he is, hasn't just sent the wishbones, he's also sent brand new ball joints, as well as more spares as well. So we're going to get new ball joints lined up to here, try and match the length on these to what I've just taken off, and then we'll take it from there. Just look at how much adjustment you've got there. Absolutely enormous adjustment range, as well as the threaded connection at this end. I cannot tell you how much I'm loving these. Right, something I'm going to try and show you on video. This opening here, this gets crushed over the years by people cranking the bolt up here when these bushes start to move. If you buy these, when you get this joint, this is not going to feel like it fits in there. It's close, don't get me wrong, it's close. See, it's kind of almost holding itself, but it's not going to feel like it is. It's not that this is wrong, this is crushed up. If you had a brand new subframe, it would go straight in. That's what we're going to do to get around that. This is amazingly hard to show you with one hand. We're going to pop a bolt in here. So, pop a nut on there. Thread that in. What I'm going to do now, and I'm not going to show you all, thread that all the way in, so that's in there. Wind this nut all the way back here, then put a spanner on it and use it to wind the gap open a bit further. Right, so I've just had the power file out. I've taken the powder coat off that face and also that face, because ultimately it gripping up is far more important than it looking perfect. So we're going to get this back on the car. Now we've done a bit of a test fit, and yeah, see how it goes. Right, well, it's a bit tricky to see everything in here because it's quite dark, but old arm is out, new arm ready to go in here. Let's offer it up, see how it looks. Yeah, parts garage. Right, well, there you go. I don't think I've showed you too much of the actual install process because it's very much a two-handed job under here. But will you just look at that? So we've got our rose joints, front and rear, our adjustable caster link, loads of room on the ball joint slot there, and we're running stock ball joints, which hard to see here, but gives us more room. Gives us more room in here between ball joint and disc, which is a bonus when compared to running the TT Mark II stuff we have done. So yeah, there you go. one wishbone on the left hand side, and funnily enough, one on the right hand side. Right, time to get the strings out and get an alignment on this thing. The arms are all on, running out of time before Goodwood on Thursday, so it's time for me to get out my trusty DIY alignment kit. So we have a level box taped to a bit of angle, which is the height of a wheel, so it doesn't interfere with the tyre or touch any bodywork. And we have our trusty steel ruler. So yeah, we're going to get the poles on, get some strings set up, and get some alignment done. So here you can see my DIY alignment setup. So we have some fiberglass garden poles with the attachment for the string marked at equal centres, front and rear. So that sits on the front bumper conveniently. To get the centre of the wheel here, it goes just under the lip on here on the car. And then if we come round to the back, past all my rubbish, it's actually fed through the towing eyes, and that gets us the string to the centre of the wheel here as well. So what we need to do, the strings are on the car, they are equidistant apart, but we don't know they're square to the car. So first off, we square off the strings to the body. And to do that, we're going to take a measurement here. We're going to go front face of the wheel to the string is 120. We're then going to come round to the other side and do exactly the same again. Front face of the string of the wheel to the string is 120. So we know the string at the front is square. And if we come to the back, front face of the wheel to the string, 150. And then bear with me as I navigate all the rubbish in my garage, trying not to touch the strings. Front face of the wheel to the string, 150 again. So we now know that the strings are now parallel to the car, so we're going to dip in front and rear of each wheel to see what the current toe is. Now, I'm going to be really honest, I've already done it, I've already set it, but I'm going to take a round of measurements just to show you where we're at. So coming to the front wheel, we know the string is parallel. We measure at the back. We have 40, for the sake of measurement, 44. And at the front, we have 44.5. So we've got half a mil toe in on this front wheel. Come round to the other side, so the steering wheel is currently set straight. So at the back, we have 45, ever so slightly off on the strings maybe. And here we have 45 and a fraction. So there's your half mil toe in. Doing the same at the back, we have 75 there, and we have about 74.5 there. Half mil toe in on that one on the back. And finally, rear right, we have 74 mil there, and we have just over 75 mil there. So you can see the beam is ever so slightly off, but not enough to worry about. So there you go. That is a very, very quick DIY alignment. So if you just work in millimetres, that's fine. That's kind of all you need to know, because on a race weekend, you're not going to convert it all back to degrees, minutes and seconds. If you want to get a figure on degrees, minutes and seconds, there is a brilliant calculator online, something like Robinette or something. I'll pop a link up to the website. You put all your round of measurements in and it tells you your angles, thrust angle, everything. Really good calculator. But yeah, that's essentially how they do it in pretty much all motorsport. Strings in the pits. Normally you'd have turntables and stuff, so I've been jacking the car up, dropping it down, resetting the steering wheel, making sure we're all straight ahead. Essentially though, that's all it is. That's all there is to it. So, arms are on, it's aligned. Cannot wait for Thursday to go and check it out.
4 to 6 days later.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Goodwood. Something broke. Yeah. Something broke. Right, everybody out. And if you want to know what that something was, you're going to have to tune in next week. See you then, guys.